meet the love of your life while on vacation near a pool. My parents were billionaires, so I got whatever I wanted growing up. Dad was the head of a huge fashion company that my mom helped him run. Dad was ruthless in the boardroom, like an ancient warrior. But when it came to me and my mom, he was a total pushover. He gave us everything we could ever want. Just one island? Anything for my girls. I'd give you the moon if you asked for it. Even though my life was practically perfect, I had a bad stutter, which made me a laughing stock at school. Wow, that's a pretty skirt. Where did you get it from? Shouldn't it? It's cool. I'll just check some stores. It was awkward, and my parents took me to the best doctors, tried speech therapy, medication, and even hypnotism, but nothing helped. I started to lose confidence, but my parents were always supportive and inspired me to accept myself, just as I am. It doesn't matter if it takes you 1 try or 100. Never stop speaking your mind. Your voice is just as important as anyone else's. As I grew older, I became more comfortable with my condition and even made friends at school. But my favorite thing in the world was being the princess of my house. Life was good, till I turned 13 and everything changed. My parents told me they were adopting from the orphanage, but it wasn't just 1 girl, but 5. I wasn't as thrilled as they were, but I didn't show it to my parents. Besides, it could be fun to have so many sisters. So I got on board. The day they were supposed to come home, I decked up the whole place and must have tried 100 dresses before finding the perfect one. I wanted to make a good impression. The oldest one, Olivia, was my age, and from the looks of it, she loved fashion just as much as I did. I'm Grace. Pleased to meet you. Olivia was so busy sizing up my outfit, I don't think she even heard me. I like your dress, but the ribbons are so tacky. And what's with those shoes? You know what? You look so cute with braids in this outfit, even though it's a little, weird. I think she looks nice. Ignore Olivia. She's just jealous. It was clear from the beginning that Olivia had an issue with me for some odd reason, but at least the other 4 were gentle. Margot and Beatrice didn't care about fashion, but they were easy to talk to. We became friends in no time, gossiping about boys and school and fighting over the best spot by the pool. Harper and Quinn were younger and stuck to themselves. Harper was obsessed with insects and was always collecting ladybugs and other creepy crawlies. Quinn was like her sister's shadow, silently following her everywhere. A week after my sister's arrival, my parents took us on a shopping spree so they wouldn't have to wear the same clothes from the orphanage. And Olivia bought everything I did. At first, she just wore the same belt or hat, but soon she was copying my whole outfit. Why are you copying me? I think you're copying me. But it's cool. I know I have a great eye for fashion, so it's a compliment. Oh my God, the new Gucci bag. I didn't care if Olivia wanted to dress like me. It just bugged me that she was lying about it. So one day, I pretended I was gonna wear the ugliest outfit, but then I changed at the last second. Olivia showed up to breakfast looking like a clown. Wow, Olivia, you look so good. Yeah, right? I saw Gummy Hadid wearing this. You mean Gigi? And I don't think that she would ever wear something this funny. The only thing funny here is the way you talk.
Olivia, apologize this minute.
Why? It's just harmless jokes between sisters, Dad. Whatever. Sorry, Grace. Please don't cry now. After that day, Olivia stopped copying my outfits, but we just couldn't see eye to eye. I tried to be friendly, but she was just a mean witch. So after a while, I stopped being nice and just ignored her. While Olivia was a pain in my butt at home, in school, I had Pearl. She was the head cheerleader and a total bully. One day, my sisters and I were eating in the food court at the mall when Pearl swooped in like a vulture. How are you doing, Grace? Just leave me alone. What? I didn't quite catch that. Were you trying to say something? Zip it, moron. Don't you have something else to do? Like bore people with your dumb cheerleading moves? Oh, but I'm getting bored. And you're so entertaining. Did I do that right? That was perfect. Before I could say anything, Harper pulled out a jar of ladybugs from her backpack and dumped them on Pearl's hair. What have you done, you moron? Pearl screamed and ran off. Instead of staying with us, Olivia took off to help her. Thanks for sticking up for me, you guys. Of course, we sisters need to have each other's backs. I just wish Olivia wasn't such a blind duck. Oh, she'll come around. Only she didn't. She started getting weird around me. And then one day, something unbelievable happened. Pearl turned into Olivia's evil minion. She followed her around like a shadow. If Olivia made a dumb joke, Pearl laughed. If Olivia wanted a cookie, Pearl brought her one. Pearl would have helped Olivia make a monster in a lab if she asked. This was so weird and fishy. I tried to find out what Pearl's deal was, but then I got busy with school assignments and forgot all about it. They were a match made in hell anyway. A week later, Mom and Dad called us into the study for a big announcement.
It's my dream that my girls join the family business one day. And with Fashion Week coming up, I want all my girls to help with their brilliant ideas. The best ones will end up on the ramp, so give it your best shot.
Oh, my God, Dad. This is such an amazing opportunity. I won't let you down. Yes, Dad. You'll love our designs. Olivia smiled at me, but the moment Mom and Dad left, she went back to her devilish smirk. Ugh, dramatic much? This opportunity is mine, and I will own it. You can relax and watch me work if you'd like. Think of it as a learning experience. Say what you want, but I know Dad will pick my designs, so watch out. I stayed up late every night working on my dress. My other sisters made their own dresses for fun, but everyone knew Olivia and I were the only ones taking it seriously. We both really wanted to impress Dad. The night before Dad judged the dresses, Olivia snuck into the studio and destroyed my dress. Luckily for me, Harper and Quinn saw her sneaking out and told me what happened. I knew she was jealous of me, but this was an all-new low. How was I supposed to make a new dress overnight? That's when an idea struck me. If I couldn't beat Olivia fair and square, I'd just have to play tricks with her. So, I swapped her dress for my ruined one. The next day, when Dad walked into the studio to judge our dresses, we both took the sheets off of our mannequins, and Olivia's mouth dropped open in shock to see what I'd done. But obviously, she couldn't tell Dad that the dress was really hers without admitting that she'd destroyed mine.
Grace, I pick you. This isn't your usual style, but it's certainly beautiful. Olivia, it's a shame you gave up on your dress. It looks like it could have been something special.
I know, Dad. Wonder what happened. Oh, don't be a sore loser, Ollie. I'm sure you'll do just as good as the next time, if there is a next time. I wasn't one to gloat usually, but the look on Olivia's face was so satisfying. A few days later, we were all on a flight to Paris for Fashion Week, and Olivia couldn't stop glaring at me. That's my dress that's about to go down the runway. You shouldn't steal credit, and you shouldn't sabotage people. Olivia, why can't we leave this stupid fight and just be friends? Friends? With you? No, thank you. And I know you hate me, so please stop pretending. I don't. Stop talking. You're giving me a headache. Olivia then got up, and for the rest of Fashion Week, she totally ignored me. Pin that hem. Olivia, hand me that hat. Olivia! What? Can't you see I'm on the phone? Can you help? Who are you even talking to? Ugh, just leave me alone. This girl was so weird. Even when we got back, she wouldn't talk to me, not even rudely. She'd either stay in her room or hang out with Pearl. And worse was that she'd started inviting Pearl to our place, which really annoyed me. Oops, I got to that first. Ugh. After a successful show at Fashion Week, Dad started getting a lot of orders. He worked for months on a new line, and all the designs were kept under lock and key in his studio, and nobody was allowed inside. But in less than 2 weeks before his runway show, someone leaked pictures of the new collection all over the internet. The tabloids went wild guessing who it could be.
I can't believe someone would do this. All my hard work is gone. Nobody has access to my study except you girls. If anyone knows something, tell me now.
I took a quick look at everyone, and all of us were equally shocked.
Fine. If that's what you want, you're all grounded with no phone privilege or allowance.
But we didn't do anything. That's not fair. But Dad simply frowned and left. We all know you did it, Olivia. Just admit it. It wasn't me. I would never do that to Dad. Relax, guys. This is not the time to turn on each other. Dad didn't talk to us for days, and it really hurt me to watch all my sisters so sad and depressed. But Olivia looked extra worried. She would stay in her room, refusing to talk to anyone. One day, I was taking an evening stroll in the garden when I noticed Olivia slipping out of the house, and she looked really anxious. I wanted to stop her, but then I decided to follow her, and she stopped in front of Pearl's house. Ugh, what do you want now? I know you're the one who stole my keycard and then stole Dad's designs and leaked them, Pearl. I should have never taken you into the study that day. Yeah, that was kinda dumb. Especially since you know my mom's company is your #1 competitor. You made it so easy to steal your designs. And now we'll be on top, while you guys will eat dirt. In your dreams, you sick psycho. No, not when the whole world would know what big fat cheaters you all are. Olivia looked at me in shock as I pulled out the phone and started playing back the recording with Pearl's confession. Give me that. Not so easy. Besides, I've already uploaded it, so there's nothing you can do. Pearl was at a loss for words, and suddenly her phone started ringing. Must be your mom. If I were you, I'd think of going underground for a few days. Pearl ran away crying, and Olivia turned to me. I'm so sorry, Grace. I should have been smarter. You should have. But right now, we need to figure out how to help Dad. We don't have much time before the show. So are you with me? Yes, of course I am. My sisters and I locked ourselves in the mansion for a week straight, staying up late every night, altering his designs. Harper and Quinn did all the sketching, and Margot and Beatrice gathered all the fabrics and accessories Dad would need. Then Olivia and I helped Dad put everything together. When the day of the fashion show arrived, we were ready. The paparazzi and critics were waiting for the curtains to rise, expecting the show to be a disaster with all the leaked designs. But when the curtain rose and the spotlights came on, the entire audience gasped. The new designs were even more beautiful, and the show was a massive success. And Dad was super proud.
You set aside your differences, and you worked hard. You pulled together as a family. I'm so proud of all of you.
It was Grace. She's the one who brought us together on this. Team effort. That's what sisters are for. Olivia and I smiled at each other as the rest of my sisters hugged me. I just knew everything would always be fine as long as we stuck together. Girl, I worshipped my mom. For starters, she looked like Rapunzel with her long, lovely hair and flowing dresses. She also drove me to school in a Barbie pink convertible that made all my friends swoon with envy. Look at her sparkly steering wheel. I wish I could marry her. But Mom didn't feel the same way about me that I felt about her. In fact, she didn't seem to care for me at all. One time I had a hockey match, but Mom said she had the flu and couldn't come. And later on, Dad and I bumped into her at the mall. Dad was furious, but I defended Mom. Hockey is boring, I get it. We'll get our nails done and I'll pay for it with my allowance. That way, you won't max out Dad's credit card again. I never ended up winning Mom over though. And a year later, Dad left her and took me with him. We ended up backpacking all around Europe for 2 years, which was a blast. I never heard from Mom again, but I thought about her all the time. When I finally returned to Norway, I was 15 and transferred to a new school. I instantly became popular as this worldly kid who's traveled everywhere. But my favorite person of all my fans and friends was my new BFF, Freya. She was 3 years younger than me, but we were in the same class because she was a genius. So what do you say? You do my homework again, and I'll get you into another exclusive party?
No one here wants a 12-year-old at their party. Why are you making friends with kids, Karina?
Freya threw her backpack at the guy when he said that, and it hit him so hard he fell backwards. Freya may only be 12, but she's a force not to be messed with. Thanks for that, bestie. It's been tough being the youngest kid in our class. You're the only friend I really have. Well, friendship has no age limit, and I think you're super cool. One afternoon, Freya invited me over to her place for dinner, but when we arrived at her house, I couldn't believe where I was. Freya lived in a 6-story mansion with a gorgeous infinity pool. The butler even offered me cookies, but just as I bit into one, a woman came out to hug Freya. It took me 2 seconds to realize it was Mom. Karina, are you okay? Mom, can you bring my friend some water? You call her Mom?
Karina, is that you?
You guys know each other? She knows me from giving birth to me. What? You said you didn't have any kids. Wait, what? I felt my blood boil, but here just wasn't the place to start a scene. Mom looked uncomfortable and told Freya it was a long story and she needed to be alone. Obviously, I couldn't concentrate on homework, and Freya wouldn't stop apologizing and asking questions. I swear, Mom never mentioned you at all. She said she's been married, but never really had a family before. Okay, can you stop calling her Mom? And she has had a family before. So let me guess, she married your dad who's a billionaire? Actually, my dad and I grew up poor. This is her mansion. She started a clothing line a couple of years ago, and it was super successful. From the second we moved in with her, she spoiled me rotten. We're really close, Karina. I wonder why she'd keep such a big secret. I didn't know how to answer that. Instead, Freya and I were called to dinner, which apparently Mom helped prepare.
Girls, I'm sorry. I needed a moment to myself, but I want to talk about it with both of you. And Freya, baby, I even helped make your favorite dish. I took a deep breath as Mom started apologizing and explaining herself. She said she wanted a fresh start with her new family, so she didn't bring up her past, which made me furious. I really do want to reconnect with you, Karina. You should come over more often. I'm so happy you and sweet Freya are friends. You know, I'm not feeling too well. My eyelashes hurt, and I want to be sure it's nothing serious. For some reason, I didn't want to confront Mom in front of Freya. I didn't want Freya knowing that Mom had never loved me the way she obviously loved her. When the weekend ended, I saw Freya at school and found out she was also mad at Mom, but Mom had bought Freya a brand new iPad to make it up to her. It still hurts that she lied, but I guess she had her reasons, and she's obviously trying to make it up to me. Yeah, hopefully she'll try and make it up to me too. As weeks passed, the tension just got worse between Freya and me. I even avoided going over to her house. Then one day, something happened that really set me over the edge. It was Freya's 13th birthday, and she begged me to come over for her birthday party. You don't have to talk to Mom if you're not comfortable. I just really want you there. After all, you're kind of my sister now, as well as my best friend. So I ended up agreeing. Freya's party turned out to be on a yacht, and it was actually pretty fun. Mom also seemed happy to see me, and that meant a lot. But later on, Freya and I were sitting on the balcony talking when we hit a huge wave and fell backwards into the water. Mom immediately jumped in to save us, but to my shock, she swam to Freya and rescued her, while one of the yacht workers came to get me. A few hours later, Mom drove Freya and I back to their mansion, and I just lost it. I could have sunk to the bottom of the ocean, but you didn't care. You saved Freya instead of me. No, it's not like that. Karina, that's ridiculous. Someone else jumped in to save you right away. I just happened to get Freya first. Did you want her to sink? No, but that's not the point. I'm your real daughter, but you chose Freya's life over mine. The fact that you rescued her instead of me wasn't a coincidence. I'm getting out of here. With that, I opened the door to the car even though we were in the middle of the road. I bolted as fast as I could before Mom's car could chase me, and I didn't arrive home until 4 in the morning. The next couple of months, I stopped hanging out with Freya and made new friends who I partied with every night. I barely got any sleep or went to class, which really worried Dad. One evening, I was napping at home when Mom dropped by with Freya. Is Karina home? I need to talk to her. We're really worried about her. She's been shutting us out and partying. Freya, I know you mean well, but you both need to give Karina space. You two being around isn't good for her. I couldn't take it anymore. I started to cry and asked them all to sit down. There was something I'd been hiding. I'm sorry. I've been shutting you guys out. I was really mad at you last month, Mom, and I did something bad. I started dating someone I met at a party, and I'm pregnant. I'm sorry, what? Karina, this is a joke, right? You're not actually pregnant? No, I really am pregnant. It's stupid and embarrassing, but I don't know what to do. Dad started crying and booked several doctor consultations, while Freya pestered me about who the baby's dad was. Finally, Mom asked to speak to me in another room. You know you can't keep this child. You won't be able to take proper care of it, and then you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Except that I'm not neglectful and heartless like you. If I decide to keep my baby, then I'll take good care of it. Mom didn't agree with me, but the next few weeks, something changed between us. Mom called me every morning to check how I was feeling and whenever I was at school.
Freya would bring me homemade soup that Mom made. She told me to remind you to take your vitamins every day. Also, Karina, how come we haven't met your boyfriend yet? He hasn't been coming to any of your doctor's appointments. Because I haven't told him yet. I don't even know if I'm keeping my kid yet or giving it up for adoption. I haven't seen the guy since I found out I was pregnant. We dated for 2 weeks, and then when I got the news, I ghosted him. You ghosted him? That's horrible. You need to invite him over for dinner and explain yourself. He has the right to know. I knew Freya was right. So that week, I texted the guy and told him to come over. His name was Philip, and he seemed nice. But I didn't know how he'd react when I told him everything. He came over Friday night when everyone was home.
I don't even know why I agreed to this. I know we weren't serious or anything, but you didn't have to go radio silent on me, Karina. How about you hear her reasons before yelling at her?
I told Philip everything in a panic, and he got super quiet.
Oh my God, this is all my fault.
Philip, stop. This is just as much my fault as it is yours.
I'm not blaming you, but I still can't stick around for this.
No, wait. Please, let's discuss this.
There's nothing to discuss. Also, I'd recommend staying home from school for the next several months. Otherwise, everyone will be able to tell you're pregnant, and you'll be stuck with a horrible reputation.
Philip, oh my God, I didn't even think about what the other kids at school would say. I've been covering up my baby bump with baggy clothes. Hey, don't worry. I'll homeschool you and everything will be okay. Mom stayed true to her word and set up the whole homeschooling program until a week before my due date. I was lying in bed when Mom invited me over. She led me to a back room, and when I stepped inside, my heart leapt into my throat. It was a giant nursery.
The guest room is next door, except I want it to be your bedroom. I want you to move in with us, Karina.
Wait, what?
I've taken a leave of absence from my company. I've saved enough money to live off of because I want to help raise my grandchild. I know I've neglected you since you were little, but I want to spend the rest of my life making it up to you. I wanted to get in touch years ago, but your dad told me not to mess with your life any more than I already have. And the reason I saved Freya first wasn't because I love her more than you. I just had to think quickly, and Freya just happened to be a little bit closer to the dock.
I couldn't believe the words I was hearing. Then before I could say a word, Freya appeared behind me. For God's sake, Karina, just tell her already. I can't take this.
What?
What are you talking about? I saw you putting this pregnancy patch on yesterday. You lied about being pregnant, Karina. You faked the whole thing.
No, I don't understand.
And I think I know why she did it too. She wanted to get your attention and steal you away from me because she was jealous of our relationship. Okay, it's true. I faked everything. And I paid Philip to lie too. We never dated. He's just a friend of a friend. I staged the whole thing